next up, we have Black Men Teach in the house. Good morning, Albert. Good morning, Johnoi.
Good morning. Good morning, Hannah.
Good morning.
How are you both doing?
Very well, thank you. Very well. I'm really
good. Good. Well, it's great to have you here. I am looking forward to the update, all the brilliant work that I know has been happening within your network. So I'm going to disappear. You've got 10 minutes to talk to the audience about Black Men Teach, and I'll pop back then and ask you a few questions.
Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for having us. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm Albert Adeyemi. I'm a teacher, head of year. I'm currently doing an SLT secondment in Bedford and co-founder of Black Men Teach.
Yeah, hi, good morning. I'm Johnoi Joseph. I'm also the co-founder of Black Men Teach. I'm an assistant head based in South London. Yeah.
Cool. So we're just going to talk to you about Black Men Teach, our network, the work that we do in schools with young Black boys and with teachers. So obviously we know the problem. Hannah mentioned sort of the stats that we've looked at. And one thing that we've always said is, research is research. And we can look at stats, but then what action is coming from that? What we're doing about the problem? So I think many of us understand the problem. There's some stats that we're not gonna dwell on because of the understanding of the problem, but talking about sort of our mission and what we do. So a lot of what we do is about raising a profile of Black men in education and promoting and amplifying their voices. We've spoken a lot in the past about, Black men, the place of a Black man in the education system, and, Black men feeling whether they're needed in the education system, wanted. And it can definitely be an isolating place, especially in some areas of the UK. So promoting and amplifying Black male educators' voices is crucial to us, letting them know that they are seen, they are there, they are valued, they are wanted, and celebrating their successes. What we set out to do is create a safe hub for Black men and boys to discuss the things that we don't normally discuss with our mental and physical health, and sort of raise awareness of some of the inequalities that Black men face in the education system. And then more significantly is creating positive experiences for Black men, but particularly Black boys within the education system. We know that experience of a Black boy can be negative, can be detrimental to their life path and their life beyond the schools. So we've set out on a mission to create positive experiences for Black boys within education. So that's a little bit about just our mission. And Johnoi is gonna just sort of speak about some of the work we do.
Awesome, thank you. So ultimately, what we're trying to do here is just create a space for Black men and boys to thrive in education. So almost having a two-pronged approach, in the sense that if we do want to have more Black males in teaching, we have to kind of go back to the root. And part of the root is that what tends to happen, especially in school, Black boys tend to have quite negative experiences, which ultimately kind of deter them from seeing teaching or seeing the school system as a safe space. And oftentimes when they do leave, they find it quite traumatic, and they will do anything else other than become a teacher. But we've created a community in which we are ultimately trying to serve back, and we're ultimately trying to make sure that there is this aspect of thriving and not just only surviving when it comes to education. And so in terms of our services, we find that we do put on events, and many of the things that we do can be geared towards the individual, but then it's also geared towards trust as well, and different schools on multiple levels. So many of our events we either do face-to-face or also online, and they kind of address the key issues as well as meet the needs of our network. We do also do outreach with some of the things that we do. So we go into secondary schools and also primary schools and tertiary education, and we put on a range of different workshops. So one of the most popular workshops that we do at the moment is the Dear Black Boys workshop, which is ultimately geared towards boys in primary school and secondary school, ultimately stating to them that we see them, we encourage them, and then we deal with a range of different things. Another popular course that we do in terms of the workshop is redefining masculinity. And it's a shame that the data is kind of cut out at the bottom when it talks about the problem, but it actually shows that Black males tend to be kind of hypermasculized when it comes to the media. And so what we're trying to do is to rechange that narrative. But that's just on the outside of it. We also run a range of different community aspects. So we currently have a BMT Connect calls and a WhatsApp group call, ultimately supporting Black male teachers and connecting them to other Black males across the UK and even beyond that as well. And then lastly, we have some of our programs, which is geared towards encouraging and equipping newly qualified teachers, ECTs as well, and PGC or trainee teachers, sorry, as they're at the beginning of their career. So what we try to do is have a holistic kind of solution, and we just make sure that in every single area of it, we bring people along. It's not, some of our events, some of our services are not just geared towards Black males, but we understand that everybody do need to hear the message of why it is important to kind of support Black males in education.
I think what's really important to sort of mention about our events is like sometimes when we attend some of these conferences and workshops and courses, it can seem like we're sort of almost going around in a cycle and we're having the same conversation, but like not much is actually happening from it. So it's important that we sort of respond and tailor what we do to the needs of our community. So one just to name some of our events, we had an event in February 2023 that was Black Men Take the Stage, and that was an opportunity for Black men to lead on CPD. So when we see conferences and things in education space, it's obviously we're seeing a lot more diversity in speakers and panels more recently, but that hasn't always been the case. So a lot of panels were strictly white, and that there was not much diversity, and particularly Black men. So that event was solely about Black men taking the forefront, leading on CPD, leading on topics that we wouldn't normally see them speak on. And then from that, feedback was that we could do something overnight, something that connects and builds community further. So we had a retreat, so we've had a retreat that looks at teacher well-being, that gives teachers an opportunity to tools down and actually connect, and that was a fantastic experience. So we really believe it's important to tailor and respond to the needs of the community so that we can actually try to address some of the concerns, some of the problems that we're facing within the education space. And that this links to this retention issue that we're having, and support them in that aspect as well. So Johnoi started speaking about some of the workshops and some of the things that we do. I think one thing that I want to highlight is the BMT Connect calls. So last year we introduced some Connect calls, and the whole point was to provide an opportunity for our community to touch base with each other a little bit more frequently. So the Connect calls are going to be launched out this year as well. And the whole point of them is that it's little nuggets, it's little bites of CPD, little bites of good practice from various educators, but then it's an opportunity just to connect and talk and discuss with people that and educators that you may have connected with at one of our face-to-face events. But it's an opportunity to stay in touch and sort of check in on each other in that aspect as well. Johnoi, I don't know if you want to talk about the Bridge Mentorship Program.
Yeah, so the Bridge Mentorship Program, one of the things that we've also decided to do was to dedicate each year to mentoring around a 25 to 50 young Black boys, and just helping with holistic development. So that's academic, also soft skills, a range of different things. But finally, I think just a couple of things: the Values Program and the Teach Thrive Program, and also the Mentoring Program. These are programs that span over a period of weeks, even the academic year. And we do have a team of individuals with us who are able to kind of go into different areas and make sure that they're delivering these workshops, these and facilitating these conversations to a high level. So if it's something that you're very much interested in, it could be a teacher within a school or trust, an organization, please do either scan the QR code, but you can also go to our website and you can also inquire from there.
Thank you both for sharing all the brilliant work you're both doing. I'm curious, as two Black male leaders in the system, what support are you getting? because you're creating this support for everyone else and this kind of network for everyone else. Like, Albert, who are some of your coaches, mentors, role models supporting you in your journey?
So for me, like, just a big me stepping out and then sort of asking support was a big step for me. So I didn't really do that before. I didn't really connect with people. I didn't really talk to people. So through my whole training period, it was sort of just me. And then I tapped into the world of Twitter and actually saw that there was more out there. And then obviously connected with the likes of Johnoi and other educators. So Johnoi is a big part of sort of my support. And being able to lead something like Black Men Teach with another black male, and the fact that it's Johnoi and itself who's inspiring in his own, it's sort of right, has done a lot of good for me and sort of my journey. And I think just the work that we've been able to do and to be able to bounce off each other and give each other that sort of little push has been instrumental. It's been, second to none. Running a grassroots organization is difficult. It has its challenges. So the importance of having a team, and we have a team around us that support us with this, and just a little insight into a bit of the future, that there is more coming. So we are looking to grow our team. So stay tuned to check out our website. It's updates coming soon, and we're looking to sort of build a team so that we can, keep pushing forward and keep, on doing this work. But there's loads of names that I could mention in terms of, Adrian Rollins, Adrian McLean, like they're two leaders within this space that have done nothing but support me personally and support Black Men Teach. And obviously my school and my environment has been nothing but supportive as well.
Thanks, Albert. There's two things there. Like the peer support is finding peers and supporting one another as peers. But what you said about, like, you perhaps didn't ask for support, like, it's actually finding people and reaching out to them as well, isn't it? So how about you, Johnoi? Who have been your champions, your supporters, helping you in your leadership journey?
Well, I mean, since I started teaching, I've always tried to put myself out there. So I remember the first part of Affinity networking group I was a part of was YBTN, and I'm sure that Kemi's going to talk about, which is obviously now the BTN. But then you also have Black Teachers Connect. And I think when I was deciding to kind of progress into leadership, one instrumental organization that helped me a lot was Aspiring Heads, Nadine Bernard and Ethan Bernard as well. And I think that organization, and one of the things that you're going to find here is that us as Black Men Teach, we support each other. We're always looking for opportunities to support each other. And I know that there's people outside, like the Step Up Network, like Ben Hobbs, and we work closely with them, and we're avid supporters of them. And I think that's so important that you can find yourself building a community of supporters. And we do need that. As much as we're leading our own grassroots organization, we also need that support as well. And I think when we're connected with so many amazing people, it does encourage us to know that it will get difficult, but you have people as well who are trying to do the same mission as you.
Yeah, absolutely. That collaboration, like, we're all jigsaw pieces, aren't we? And actually together we begin to create a much bigger impact. One quick question from the listeners: what ages of boys do you start working with? Is it particular key stages? Is it teenagers? Do you want to...
Primary school. We realized at the beginning it was just secondary school, but then we was invited into primary school and realized, well, the problem stems way back. So I think the youngest we've done is year 4, and we've tailored our workshops to make sure that it's age appropriate for them. But many of them are having difficulties, but not necessarily having the language to explain what they're going through. And we try to make sure that we create a space for that.
I think just to add to that, so as much as we do workshops for everyone, our Bridge Mentorship Program is strictly for Key Stage 4 upwards. So the Bridge Mentorship Program is for year 10 boys upwards.
So they want to find out more, they can go to the Black Men Teach website and drop you a message.
Yes.
And it's nationwide. Yes, Amira, it's nationwide. They've got a network of people. Like, just to remind everyone, they are full-time school leaders and full-time teachers, but they have got a team of people to help support you. So the best thing to do, find their website. It's in our directory on our website, and drop them that message. Thank you both for the brilliant work you're doing. Thanks for joining us this morning.